Power and torque relations of a three-phase induction motor. So in transformer is equivalent of an induction motor. Transformer is equivalent circuit of an induction motor is quite helpful in analyzing the various power relations of the motor. Okay. So in figure 3.13, so like this, from this using this figure, you can analyze the. We have to find the power and torque relations. Okay. This figure 3.13, this figure shows the equivalent circuit per phase of induction motor. Okay, I'm already explained the equivalent circuit of induction motor, where all values have been referred to the primary side. That's called stator. Secondary side parameters are converted into the primary side. Okay, so by converting this all secondary side parameters to primary side, then we have to find the relations between power and torque relations of three-phase induction. So this is the circuit diagram when converted into secondary side parameters are converted into primary side. This is called R2 dash is equal R2 by K square and X2 dash is equal X2 by K square, R1 is equal R2 by K square into 1 minus 1. And this power converted to mechanical power. So this is called power converted into, so this power is converted into mechanical. So up to here, this is the stator side of a three-phase induction motor. So this is R1, X1. So one notations are regarding to stator side and two notations are rotor side. So this is the part rotor side. This is called rotor input. So power input to the rotor. So up to here, so stator. Okay, and so remaining part is called rotor. Okay, this stator is called supply voltage. Am I right? After that, stator having some losses. Okay, stator having stator core losses and stator copper losses. Okay, stator having some losses. That is called stator core losses and copper losses. Stator core losses are takes place here, and copper losses are takes place here. Winding I1 square into R1. Okay, stator core losses called IW square into R2. After that, that input power minus losses in the stator is nothing but output of stator winding. Output of stator. That is called rotor input. Understood? Understood? So for example, try to consider. So for example, this is the stator. Let us assume this is the stator. Okay. Stator, these are the three different type of inputs. R phase, Y phase, and B phase. These are the three different type of phases. Understood? It's clear. And stator having some in between stator and rotor, there is an air gap. Okay. In between stator and rotor, there is an air gap. Am I right or not? In between stator and rotor. So for example, this is called rotor. Try to consider. Here this is called stator. This is called stator. Okay, and this is called rotor. And stator three-phase supply. This is called R phase, Y phase, B phase. These are the different type of supplies. Okay, and stator is made by some material, such as iron core or steel core. Okay, so and also stator is having winding. Understood? So in the stator, there is a losses takes place. This input and in the stator having some losses, that is called is having winding. So that's called I1 square into R1, winding losses. And the stator having a copper loss also, stator core loss, stator core loss and copper loss. IW square into R. Stator having core, so it's having some loss. Okay, in this loss. After that, so the input power minus this losses is called the rotor input. Am I right or not? This is called rotor input. So we are giving the power supply to the rotor, okay, through the air gap. So what is this? So it is a air gap. Am I understood or not? So this is called air gap. Okay. So we are giving the power supply to the stator like this manner, and then the stator having some losses. After that losses, by subtracting the losses from the input, and then we will get some output that are called rotor input. This is called rotor. So that is this called power input to the rotor. So this is the input of the rotor is also called as a stator output is also called as a stator output. Am I right or not? It is also stator output or otherwise rotor input. Understood? Power input to the rotor. Okay. So here total electrical load R2 dash is nothing, R2 dash into 1 by S minus 1 plus R2 dash. Total electrical load that is called R2 dash. This is R2 dash plus RL. Okay, here R2 dash plus RL dash. So that is called so R2 into R2 dash into 1 by S minus 1 plus R2 dash. Then it will become R2 dash by S. Okay, this is called total electrical load. And then power input to the stator, that's called 3V1 I1 cos phi 1. Power input to the stator side. Okay, 3-phase supply na. That's why 3V1 I1 cos phi. If it is single phase supply, V1 I1 cos phi. But it is a 3-phase supply, that's why power input to the stator is called 3V1 I1 cos phi. There will be a stator core loss, am I right or not? And a stator copper loss also. Stator having winding because of that stator loss are takes place, that is called copper loss. And the stator is having core. Okay, that's why the stator core loss. There will be a stator core loss and copper loss. The remaining power will be power transferred across the air gap, that is called input to the rotor. Understood? Input to the rotor. That's clear. So then rotor input. What is the rotor input? Here I2 3 into I2 square into R2 divided by S. So what is the resistance in the rotor side? R2 by S. Total electrical load resistance is called R2 by S. Then what is the rotor input? That is called 3 I2 square into R2 by S. Okay. Then rotor copper loss is equal to, so rotor is having some resistance. Rotor copper loss is called winding. So R2 is called dash. Winding having some resistance, that is called. So the rotor copper loss takes place in the rotor winding. Okay, or conducting bars, copper bars, conducting copper bars or aluminum copper bars. In squirrel case, in 3-phase slip ring induction motor and winding. Then rotor copper loss is equal to 3 I2 square into R2. Then rotor input is equal to 3 I2 square into R2 by S. This is called rotor input. Otherwise, stator output also 3 I2 square into R2 by S. Otherwise, air gap power also. You can call as air gap power. Otherwise, stator output or rotor input. Then total mechanical power developed by the rotor is okay. Total mechanical power developed by the rotor is nothing but rotor input minus rotor copper loss. Total mechanical power developed by the rotor is nothing but so rotor is having rotor input that from subtracting the rotor copper losses from rotor input, so we will get mechanical power developed on the shaft. Understood? So here rotor input called 3 I2 square into R2 by S. This is called this is stator. Red color one is stator. Let us assume red color one is called stator. The blue color line is called rotor, and this called it is called shaft. Shaft. Okay. Then here this is called stator input. Okay. This is called stator input. This is called rotor input. Okay. And then mechanical power developed here. This is called mechanical power developed on the shaft. Here mechanical power developed. Understood? So here try to consider rotor input is equal to the rotor input is called stator output. Okay, from this output, whatever the power we are getting from this output is called rotor input, otherwise stator output. And also this is also called air gap power. Understood? Air gap power. So okay, and here this is called rotor, and rotor is having some losses. Rotor is having winding, because of that is having some loss. So rotor having losses, that is losses are called copper loss. Rotor having winding, slip ring or squirrel cage is having slip ring for induction motor is winding, but in squirrel cage copper conducting bars. So that copper loss takes place. So then rotor input minus this losses is called mechanical power development. Rotor, this is called rotor input minus losses in rotor is nothing but mechanical power development. So total mechanical power developed by the motor rotor is called okay. Mechanical PM is nothing but rotor input, this is called rotor input, minus losses in rotor copper loss. My rotor copper loss in rotor is nothing but mechanical power developed. Okay, so that is equal to rotor input is equal to 380 square into R2 by S. Okay, 380 square into R2 by S, and minus here, minus rotor copper loss, that is called 380 square into R2. Here minus. Okay, so draw minus here. So here minus. Understood? 380 square into R2 by S minus 380 square into R2. Then, so what is the equation mechanical power developed by the rotor is called 3 into 8 square into R2 into 1 by S minus 1. Okay, understood? This is the concept. Mechanical power developed. How the mechanical power developed in three phase and the rotor. Okay, this is quite apart from the equivalent circuit. Figure 3.13. Okay, so next third one is called. So first, second is over, and then third, gross power. If TG is called gross torque developed by the rotor. Gross torque developed by the rotor is equal to, you know well, power is equal to torque into omega. So you know well the relation power is equal to torque into omega. Okay, for mechanical one, power is equal to torque into omega. Omega is equal to 2 pi n by 60. Okay, power mechanical power developed is equal to gross torque. Okay, this TG is called gross torque developed by the rotor. So torque into omega, omega is equal to 2 pi n by 60. And then mechanical power developed is equal to 380 square into R2 into 1 by S minus 1. That is equal to 2 pi n by 60 into TG. And then 380 square into R2 to 1 by S minus 1. That is equal to 2 pi n by 60 to TG. That is equal to 380 square into R2 to 1 minus S by S. Here 2 pi n. So what is the, here n is called rotor speed. Convert into synchronous speed in the form of synchronous. So slip is equal to ns minus nr by s. By using that relation, n is equal to ns into 1 minus s. Substitute here, n is equal to ns into 1 minus s here, 2 pi ns into 1 minus s, tg divided by 60. Then torque developed here, gross torque is nothing but 380 square into R2 into 1 minus s by s. Okay. So here 1 minus s, here 1 minus s cancel, that's why. So only s term. 380 square into R2 by s by 2 pi n divided by 60 Newton meter. Then torque developed gross torque is equal to 9.55 into 380 square into R2 by S by ns is equal to Newton into Newton meter. Okay. So this is the gross torque developed on the motor. So note that the shaft torque will be less than that of the gross. Okay, gross torque by the torque required to meet windage and frictional losses. Okay. So because of windage and frictional losses, the shaft torque is less than that of the gross torque. Okay, the gross torque is more than that of the shaft torque. Otherwise, shaft torque is less than the gross torque. Okay, this torque developed on the shaft is called shaft TSH, shaft torque. Okay, and the gross developed torque, okay, is a total torque like this. Okay, because of windage and frictional losses, the shaft torque developed on the shaft is less than that of the gross torque. Okay, so gross torque minus okay, so the windage and frictional losses. So subtracting this, whatever the power developed, whatever the losses developed because of windage and frictional losses, we will get the torque here. TSH. Understand? Then coming to the induction motor torque. Induction motor torque. The mechanical power P available from any electrical motor can be expressed as power is equal to torque into omega, torque into omega, power is equal to torque into omega, omega is equal to 2 pi n by 60 inverse. Okay, n is called speed of the motor in RPM, and torque is called torque developed in Newton meter. Then torque is equal to 60 divided by 2 pi into P by N, so 9.55 into P by N Newton meter. Am I right? And then the gross output of the rotor of an induction motor is PM. Okay, if the gross output of the rotor of an induction motor is PM and its speed is N RPM, then the gross torque T developed by given by TG is equal to 9.55 into PM by N. Okay, this torque is equal to gross torque if the torque developed by the motor is called TG, that is called TG with gross torque, and power is called PM. Then You will get the equation Tg is equal 9.55 into Pm divided by N. Similarly, shaft torque also 9.55 into P output by N. So mechanical power developed is and output power is different. Okay, mechanical power developed minus windage and friction loss is called output power. Okay, output power developed on the shaft is nothing but so friction and windage losses minus mechanical power developed minus friction and windage losses called output power. Since windage and friction losses are small, okay, gross torque is almost is equal to the shaft torque. This assumption is hardly lead to any significant error. So because of windage and friction losses, compulsory is there in induction machine. That's why. So TG approximately equal, but not exactly equal. TG is equal to TSH. Okay, and the mechanical power developed is not equal to power output. Mechanical power developed minus windage and frictional losses is nothing but output power. Okay, so this is about induction motor torque. Okay, understood. And then rotor output. So I'll discuss this concept in the next class.